Our Earth is always in motion. It spins on its axis, a bit like a basketball on a player's finger. This spin isn't something we feel in our daily lives. We're just along for the ride. This rotation is vital. It's why we have day and night. As the Earth turns, different parts face the sun. It affects the wind, the ocean currents, even the way some animals migrate. Imagine a world where the sun always stayed in one spot. Without the Earth's rotation, our planet would be a very different place. But what if this force was suddenly removed? What if in an instant the Earth stopped spinning? The Earth doesn't spin in isolation. It's part of a delicate dance with other celestial bodies. Our planet is constantly pulled and tugged by the gravity of the sun, the moon, and even other planets. This cosmic ballet is a delicate balance. It's what keeps us in orbit, preventing us from drifting off into the vastness of space. Imagine the Earth as a spinning top, slowly losing momentum. Eventually, it would wobble and fall. The idea of the Earth suddenly stopping its spin might seem like something out of science fiction. It's a catastrophic event, one with unimaginable consequences. What would happen to everything on the surface? To the oceans? To the very air we breathe? The answer is a cascade of destruction unlike anything our planet has ever seen. Imagine standing on the surface of the Earth at the moment it stops spinning. You wouldn't feel a gentle slowing down. Instead, it would be an abrupt, violent jerk. Everything not firmly rooted to the ground would be flung eastward at incredible speeds. Think of it like riding in a car that suddenly slams on the brakes. You're thrown forward with a force proportional to your speed. Now imagine that car traveling at over 1,000 miles per hour. That's roughly the speed of Earth's rotation at the equator. The force of this sudden stop would be devastating. Buildings would crumble, trees would be uprooted, and entire cities would be leveled. And this would be only the beginning. The oceans, no longer held in check by the Earth's rotation, would react with terrifying violence. Imagine a bathtub full of water suddenly jolted sideways. The water would slosh over the edges unconstrained. Now picture this on a planetary scale. Gigantic tsunamis, dwarfing anything in recorded history, would surge across the globe. These wouldn't be mere waves, but towering walls of water, miles high, crashing onto land with unimaginable fury. Coastal cities would vanish in an instant, swallowed by the relentless deluge. The very shape of the oceans would be redrawn. Water would rush towards the poles, creating two vast new oceans, separated by a single massive continent. The oceans, once a source of life and beauty, would become instruments of unimaginable destruction. The atmosphere, too, would be thrown into chaos by the sudden halt of Earth's rotation. The air, still moving at high speeds due to inertia, would create winds of unimaginable ferocity. These winds wouldn't be mere gusts, but planet-encircling hyper-hurricanes, capable of leveling mountains and scouring the Earth's surface. The delicate balance of our atmosphere would be shattered. Weather patterns would become extreme and erratic, with scorching heat in some areas and frigid cold in others. The air itself would become thinner in some regions and thicker in others, making breathing difficult or even impossible. The once familiar blue sky would be replaced by a swirling, turbulent mass of clouds, dust, and debris. The atmosphere, once our protector, would become a volatile and unpredictable force. The very land masses of Earth wouldn't be immune to the effects of the planet's sudden stop. The immense forces unleashed by the cessation of rotation would cause widespread earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. The Earth's crust, no longer held together by the momentum of its spin, would buckle and crack under the strain. Mountain ranges would rise and fall, continents would drift apart, and new islands would be born from the depths of the ocean. The familiar map of our world would be redrawn in a matter of hours. The landscape would become a shifting, unpredictable mosaic of destruction. The consequences for humanity would be nothing short of apocalyptic. The initial violence of the sudden stop would claim billions of lives. Those who survived the initial onslaught would face a world transformed into a hostile and unrecognizable wasteland. The loss of infrastructure, the collapse of ecosystems, and the unpredictable weather patterns would make survival a daily struggle. Food and clean water would become scarce commodities, leading to widespread famine and disease. The human race, once the dominant species on Earth, would be reduced to a scattered remnant clinging to survival. Yet, even in the face of such devastation, life, as it always does, would find a way. The survivors of this global cataclysm would be forced to adapt to their radically altered world. They would need to develop new ways to find food, shelter, and community. The Earth, though wounded, would begin its own slow process of healing. New ecosystems would emerge, populated by creatures that had adapted to the changed conditions. The sudden stop of Earth's rotation would mark the end of the world as we know it, but it would also mark the beginning of a new era, a time of immense challenge and even greater opportunity. In the aftermath of the Earth's sudden stop, one of the most immediate and dramatic changes would be to the day-night cycle. No longer would the Earth experience the familiar rotation that brings sunrise and sunset. Instead, one hemisphere would be bathed in perpetual daylight, while the other would be shrouded in endless night. Imagine a world where the sun remains fixed in the sky, a constant presence throughout the day. In the hemisphere facing the sun, the days would stretch on endlessly. The sun, no longer rising and setting, would trace a circular path across the sky. The stars, once a familiar sight in the night sky, would vanish from view, outshone by the ever-present sun. The natural rhythms of life, governed for millennia by the cycle of day and night, would be thrown into disarray. On the opposite side of the Earth, the picture would be drastically different. Here, the sun would never rise, casting the hemisphere into perpetual darkness. The stars would become a constant presence in the sky, their faint light the only illumination in an otherwise black void. The temperature would plummet in this eternal night, as the absence of sunlight would cause the land and oceans to rapidly cool. The hemisphere would experience a perpetual winter, with temperatures far colder than anything experienced before the Earth's rotation ceased. The lack of sunlight would have a devastating impact on plant life. Without plants, the foundation of the food chain would collapse, leading to a cascade of extinctions throughout the ecosystem. The two hemispheres, once connected by the cycle of day and night, would become two separate worlds. The Earth's tilt on its axis, combined with its orbit around the sun, is what gives us our seasons. But with the Earth no longer spinning, this axial tilt would become meaningless. The concept of seasons, as we know them, would cease to exist. In the hemisphere facing the sun, there would be only one season, a perpetual summer. The sun's constant rays would beat down on the land, leading to extreme heat and aridity. Conversely, the hemisphere shrouded in darkness would experience a never-ending winter. The lack of sunlight would drive temperatures down to unimaginable lows, far below anything ever recorded. The planet, once characterized by its diverse and ever-changing seasons, would become a world of extremes. In this radically altered world, life would face an unprecedented challenge to survive. The extreme temperatures, the lack of a day-night cycle, and the collapse of ecosystems would push many species to the brink of extinction. Only the most adaptable and resilient forms of life would stand a chance. In the sunlit hemisphere, plants would need to evolve new ways to withstand the constant heat and intense radiation. Animals would become primarily nocturnal, seeking refuge from the scorching daytime temperatures in underground burrows or shaded crevices. In the darkened hemisphere, life would congregate around geothermal vents, those fissures in the Earth's crust that release heat and nutrients from the planet's interior. The survivors of this global cataclysm would be a testament to the sheer tenacity of life. Between the two extremes, the scorching day and the frigid night, there would exist a narrow band of twilight. This region, located along the terminator, the line separating day from night, would experience a perpetual sunset or sunrise, depending on your perspective. The temperatures in this twilight zone would be more moderate than in either of the two hemispheres, offering a potential refuge for life. This region would become a melting pot of species, a place where creatures from both the light and dark worlds would converge. The twilight zone would be a place of constant change and adaptation. The sudden stop of Earth's rotation would be a transformative event, reshaping the planet and altering the course of life forever. The familiar rhythms of day and night, of seasons and tides would be gone, replaced by a new set of environmental challenges and opportunities. Life, as it always does, would find a way to adapt. New species would emerge, specially equipped to thrive in the extreme environments of the day-night divide. The twilight zone would become a hotbed of evolution, where creatures from both light and dark worlds would converge and diversify. The Earth, though forever changed, would continue to be a planet teeming with life. The Moon, our constant companion in the night sky, wouldn't escape the consequences of Earth's sudden stop. The delicate gravitational dance between our planet and its satellite would be thrown into disarray. No longer would the Moon be held in its steady orbit. Without the Earth's rotation to maintain its orbital momentum, the Moon would begin to drift away from our planet. The speed of this drift would be gradual at first, but it would be relentless. The Moon, once a familiar sight in our night sky, would become a distant wanderer, its presence growing fainter with each passing night. The Moon, once a source of wonder and inspiration, could become a harbinger of destruction. The ultimate fate of the Moon is uncertain. Some scientists believe that it would eventually escape Earth's gravitational pull altogether, drifting off into the vastness of space to become a rogue satellite. Others theorize that the Moon's drift would eventually be halted by the gravitational influence of the Sun. Caught in a tug-of-war between Earth and the Sun, the Moon could be pulled into a new, unstable orbit. The most catastrophic possibility is a collision between the Earth and the Moon, resulting in an extinction-level event. The Moon's gravitational pull is the primary driver of Earth's tides. The rhythmic rise and fall of the oceans are a testament to the invisible force that connects our planet to its celestial neighbor. But with the Earth's rotation halted, the tides would be transformed. Oceans would gradually redistribute, flowing towards the poles. Coastlines would be redrawn, with some areas permanently submerged. This would profoundly impact marine life, disrupting ecosystems. Imagine a world without the gentle lapping of waves on the shore, without the rhythmic ebb and flow of the tides. The oceans, once a source of constant motion and sound, would become eerily still. The absence of the Moon's gravitational pull would create a profound silence, a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of our planet and its celestial companion. This silence would extend beyond the oceans. The lack of tides would also affect the winds, which are influenced by the temperature differences between the land and the sea. Without the moderating influence of the tides, these temperature differences would be more extreme, leading to more powerful and unpredictable winds. The once familiar sounds of nature, the crashing waves, the rustling leaves, the chirping birds, would be replaced by an unfamiliar and unsettling quiet. It would be a silent spring, a stark reminder of the profound changes that had swept over the planet. The scenario of Earth suddenly stopping its spin, while purely hypothetical, serves as a stark reminder of the delicate balance that governs our planet and our place within the cosmos. It underscores the immense power of the forces at play in the universe, forces that we often take for granted in our everyday lives. The Earth's rotation, its orbit around the Sun, the Moon's gravitational pull, these shape our world and remind us of our inextricable connection to the wider universe. Even in the face of unimaginable devastation, life would find a way to adapt and endure. This thought should fill us with a sense of awe and wonder at the tenacity and adaptability of life. As we contemplate the hypothetical scenario of Earth's rotation ceasing, we're reminded of our own place in the grand scheme of things. We are but a small part of a vast and ancient universe, a universe filled with wonders and mysteries that we are only beginning to comprehend. This perspective should instill in us a sense of humility, but also a sense of responsibility. As inhabitants of this planet, as custodians of this pale blue dot, it is our duty to cherish and protect it, not only for ourselves but for all future generations. We must strive to understand the forces that govern our universe, to explore the cosmos with curiosity and wonder, and to use our knowledge wisely to ensure the survival and prosperity of life on Earth. So the next time you look up at the night sky, take a moment to appreciate the delicate balance that makes our existence possible. Let it serve as a reminder of our cosmic significance and our responsibility to protect this pale blue dot we call home.